I have an idea. Let's say we took a road trip with the NASCAR drivers of 2023. Who would be on that road trip and what role would they have? So starting off with Kyle Busch. Okay, I gotta think through this for a second. So the reason I want to make Kyle Busch the driver or the co-driver is he can get some rage behind the wheel, but I don't think I want that on a road trip, so if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. I'm leaning towards mechanic or planner for him, and I think I'm gonna go with planner just because he has to be really good with scheduling to be able to balance helping out Brexton, his racing career, PR, social media duties, so I think Kyle Busch is gonna be the planner of this trip. All right, who do we have next? Denny. Okay, all right. For me, this one's pretty obvious. I would put Denny Hamlin as the entertainer because just hearing his stories from Actions Detrimental and the other interviews he's done about like the Airbnbs he's rented or just like the games that he plays with his friends or like his sporting adventures and things like that. I'm like, that sounds like really dope. So for a road trip, like I think he'd be good at planning some activities. All right, who's up next? Third person on our road trip, Chris Buescher. All right. I might regret this because I was thinking of putting Chris as a driver, but I think I'm going to put him as a co-driver. He's consistent. I feel like he's calm behind the wheel. Every time I listen to his radio, I don't hear any swearing or anything like crazy, which like that's not a bad thing, but I don't want that type of chaos and energy on our road trip necessarily if it's negative. Chris seems like a positive, just uplifting dude. So co-driver to keep the driver calm. I like this idea. So far, I'm pretty impressed with the drivers that we've gotten. Okay, I know. I was hoping I would get Blaney because I know exactly where I'm going to put him on our group and our assignments. Ryan Blaney's music taste is almost essentially mine to a T. I go a little bit beyond and do like indie pop and other things like that. I also love like 2010 hits, early 2000s hits, but like classic rock, rock in general, country music, bluegrass, folk, anything in that realm. I love, and that tends to be Ryan Blaney's music style, so I'm gonna have him as my playlist manager. 2 more spots left. Who is going to fill those? Kevin Harvick. Okay. Ooh. So I'll explain this. It did not take me too long to actually figure this out. Kevin Harvick is the driver for this trip. I feel like Harvick is Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collected when things go awry, and if they do, he's able to steer things back on course, pun completely intended. I also feel like for whoever is the driver, everybody in this list needs to be able to listen to them, take their direction. Kevin Harvick is that guy. I also thought, I don't know, maybe Kevin Harvick and Chris Buescher both being Ford drivers, maybe they'll have something to talk about on the road, just, you know, sitting side by side, so we'll see. All right, last but not least, who was our mechanic? Okay, I feel good about this. I feel solid about it. I actually feel very good about this because Eric Almirola, if I remember correctly, he was actually a mechanical engineering student when he was in college. That plus his long history in the sport and obviously working with the cars week in, week out, being a driver himself too, I think he's a solid pick for our mechanic for this road trip. So this is what we ended up with. Kevin Harvick as our driver, Chris Buescher as the co-driver, Kyle Busch as the planner, Ryan Blaney as the playlist manager, Denny Hamlin as our entertainer, and Eric Almirola as the mechanic. That was pretty fun. I guess the question is like, where are we going on a road trip? I have no clue. As long as there's good food involved, I'm good.